Nhất xa sự hở chính em mà đem cái chính nhập.
Hằng nghe lại phim ngay sẽ.
Bác có bài bên em nghe. Nãy thì bro chính em nhìn hấp xin nhau cái tay pop. Bác cầm bà bà chung
Ki khubor ka Batesi TV ka umdi basnyam bat pinjasliang Omrupa Premium Meghalaya.
UMLA Raja Bala Constituency Dr. Mizanur Kazi Ulawanra ke jingkili hiyeng dorbar thawan ke jalla bankili naga sorkar bahatu ka sorkar kla shimne em kilar kilinti banweng no ke jing ke baka sorkar ke jupin slam be ke tulop jongkin hikai bat ki igi sinjam ke baka sorkar kala shim haba jubab ya kani uminti katnan puli puthi balak men remboy lo jubab baka sorkar kelas dang daga minglai school information management system khnang ban pin kloy ban pin poi ek jingkhen ki bede ban siu namar babaro shikata asu shim jingkhen bet daga bowan ra dagi kot kisla ula jubab ru bakam judan ke jingpen slam yekin he kai sorkar re ke jingpen slam ke de tangi kito kin kai ki bedan ke jingphia benta ba pher hadu bentaw le thu be ke tulop jongki ladap siu hadu no pra arajar arpusan ulom gidan bon ki dah holo ke jing slam ke tulap kina hikai rang ba ka jelau konra ke sangma ula batai benya begi school sarkar begi school SSE ke kamram jong ke sarkar hendre gi school shimet ki school balang ki school chnong ka sarkar ka aire gran hendre kat banang ya kisnam kisngo thu da ko muipat ki pinlong penban ke gran kom ke tulap ba ke pinjen jare ka sarkar hendre minta ka sarkar kelawan da ko komsi ko thammai ha ka babro shikata ke jupelut terus pak klor na kabenta kini kai SSE bat kini kai ad hoc bat mentakan penlut pras pak klor tam pen penbet no ya kani ka jinge.
Mr. Speaker, sir, reply to start question 3. A, yes, sir. B, sir, the government is processing salary proposals through a portal called Maclear School Information Management System, MAXIMS, to eliminate the delay in submitting proposals through hard copy, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Through you, may I know from the Honorable Minister in charge that what is the current status of salary disbursement and is there any delay, and if yes, then the district-wise amount of pending salaries.
So there is no delay in the disbursement of salary for the government teachers, but yes, sir, there is a delay in the other categories of teachers. As of now, sir, the salary have been paid till December 2025, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. May I know from the Honorable Minister in charge, sir, that any principal causes that have been outlined for the delay in salaries of teachers other than the government teachers?
So there are many factors which contribute to the delay of the payment of the salary to the teachers. One is that the processing of the salary payment. This system, that's why the government come up with this new system, where through this Maxim portal, the process will be more simplified for so that the government could sanction at the earliest.
Mr. Speaker, sir, is it a fact that these salaries for the ad hoc and granting aid teachers are diverted to some other causes, and if yes, is there any steps taken to mitigate this problem?
No, sir. There is no diversion of salary, which means for the teachers, it is paid for the teachers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. May I know from the Honorable Minister in charge that is there any recent cabinet decision wherein there is a approval for structured pay framework, and what is the present status of implementation and the timeline for the full pay rollout?
Yes, sir. As you have, everybody knows that the problem or the grievance of the teacher is one of the major issue which bogged down the education department from time to time. But I'm very thankful to the Honorable Chief Minister and the Honorable Cabinet on the 19th of December 2025, where they have approved that for all the categories of these granting aid teachers, they will bring into one umbrella is that the new pay, structured pay framework for those fixed pay teachers. And the implementation of this new structure will start on the 1st of April 2026, sir.
Mr. Thaba, please.
Sir, such delays are affecting the moral and performance of our teachers. So I just want to know from the Minister in charge of Education, has the Education Department dedicated a specific or separate salary head to prevent future delays?
So the Education Department have the different heads for this salary. So for salary, so there is no issue with this. The only thing is that there is the issue is that during this so many years that we find that sometimes the delay is there. So that to streamline all these things, the government come up with this new system where we could check where is delay happen, and so that the burden or so that it will ease the mind of the teachers so that they will get the salary on time, sir.
Okay. Mukul, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, now this issue related to the salary of the teachers. There's quite a substantial disparity in respect of the salary which are being paid to different categories of teachers. Now, this issue has been a matter of concern, and it is only appropriate that we must take cognizance of this huge disparity and do justice to those categories of teachers who are being paid abysmally low. So I have not seen government taking steps to address this issue. So may I therefore, through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, get a categorical response of the government in this regard.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 12th of February 2026, the government issued one notification, whereby may I read the operative part of it, that Lower Primary School, 0 to 5 years, the salary, revised salary is 21,000 plus CPF 1,680, it becomes 22,680. Then 5 to 11 years, 22,000 is the revised pay, and the CPF 1760. 11 to 19 years, 23,000. CPF 1,840. 19 to 28 years, 24,000. CPF 19,920, and about 28 years, 25,000. CPF 2,000. Upper primary, 0 to 5 years, 2,425, 24,250, CPF 1,940, total 26,190, 5 to 11 years, 25,300, CPF 2,024, and so on and so forth. These are we recognize the contribution of the teachers. This is disparity of the teachers. As you must have known, sir, we have different categories of teachers. We have SSA, LP and UP. We have RMSA for secondary and higher secondary. We have ad hoc teachers, LP, UP, secondary, higher secondary, secondary morning, secondary night. We have food teachers, we have science grant, secondary, we have Hindi teachers, secondary, we have pre-primary teachers, preschool. And there are different categories and different pay structure. I'm very thankful to Honorable Chief Minister that to ease the burden and to bring the parity in the pay. So we brought this notification, as I mentioned above the education that on the 12th of February 2026, which this pay structure will be implemented on the 1st of April. I hope with this intervention of the government that I cannot say 10%, but the issue relating to the teachers' condition and salary will be eased to such an extent. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in view of this reply, then what will be the total quantum of amount that is projected to be spent for this lower primary, upper primary categories and the other categories in terms of the annual expenditure that is projected?
Sir, I think it's important to understand, and of course Honorable LO will be quite aware about that. But just for the knowledge of the House, as correctly mentioned by our Education Minister, that there are different categories of schools. That's the most complicated aspect of the education system in Meghalaya. And if you look at this whole aspect, a lot of times in the past we have heard that why hasn't government paid the salary of ad hoc teachers? Why hasn't government paid the salary of, say a deficit school teacher or a college? Sir, we have to understand that there is government school and there is what we call not a non-government but not a government, a private school. The ad hocs and the deficits are actually privately owned or community owned or mission owned. They are not owned by government, sir, most of them, 90% plus. And when you look at these categories of schools which are not owned by government, they are owned by the private managing committees. So when you talk of the ad hoc schools, they are not government schools, so they are, with due respect, sir, say run by you, sir. For example, Mr. Thomas, school. And you are the managing committee. Government gives a grant. So all these years we've been giving what we call ad hoc grant to your school because you could not run it. So in the last 20, 30, 40 years, the consecutive government started giving, ad hoc grant to somebody. You pay your salaries. This grant took a structure of salaries after 10 years, 15 years, the nomenclature changed. Then the expectation happened that now this school that belongs to Mr. Thomas, you see, but government just has to pay the salary. We are paying grant and aid to you. We don't pay salary to you. But in 40 years' time, the teachers then and the society at large said that no, this teacher's salary of this ad hoc school, government is not paying. So, sir, this narrative that has come up, for whatever reason, sir, has led to this kind of confusion today. So let's be very clear. Government schools is government direct responsibility. Ad hoc schools and deficit schools, SSA also is government's responsibility. But ad hoc schools are run by private sector. So this has to be very, very clear, sir. What we are doing today is, in spite of the fact that this is being run by private sector, not owned by government, we realize the pain of the teachers. The teacher who is getting the ad hoc grant, we increase the grant per teacher to 18,000, example. Now, so what happens is, if you have been working for 30 years, you will also get 18,000. I have been working for 1 year, I will also get 18,000. The ad hoc teachers and the SSA teachers were stuck with a specific pay, no matter how experienced they were. And hence now, this is important, sir, to understand. Now what we have done is we have created one category for as many as possible. Sir, the minister has already explained to you the number of teachers we have, different teachers. We have 55,000 teachers, sir. So just to give an example to you, Tripura, which has got about 10 lakh population more than us, has got 40,000 teachers. We have 55,000 teachers. They have 4,000 schools. We have 14,000 schools. So this is the comparison and the fact that we have so many categories of schools, so many categories of teachers, and we realize that government has to step in and take a decisive step to somehow give structure to this, and that's what we're doing. To answer to the question of the LO, I don't have the exact number. Minister will first have the exact number, but I can give you a rough estimate that we used to spend approximately 600 crores for SSA and for ad hoc teachers in the LP UP category. And today, with this decision that we took, where now a structured pay will come in, The experience minister read out that if you are 0 to 5 years experience, you'll get 21,000 something. If your experience is above 25 years, then you'll get about 28,000. So we are giving that seniority also thing. We are giving an increment of 3%, is it? Yeah. 3% increment annually to every teacher. So they know that they have got growth happening every year. So we are going to be spending approximately 800 crores plus now. So there's an addition of about 200 plus crores. If Honorable Minister has the exact number, then he can also say it. But I roughly remember about 815 or 16 crores is what's going to come up. So you can say a net impact of 200 plus minus crores will be there. But this decision will lead to a kind of a structured pay system and a framework, and more importantly, a system which will give a security and safety to the teachers, give increment to them, and most importantly, sir, that will ensure that there is growth, and they can see increments coming up in the future. So it's a very, very tough decision, a very highly financially implicable decision, but a decision in the right direction, which will lead to a stabilization of the education system to a large extent, and 23,007 teachers, if I'm not wrong, 23,007 teachers will be impacted because of this decision.
Mr. Speaker, sir, there is some deviation from the original, how the whole educational, rather the whole effort of the community to establish educational institution at the primary level and upper primary level and secondary level, the overall involvement of the community in assuming this responsibility in absence of government initiative in the beginning. So there are two categories when we talk about non-government schools. One is which is established by the communities coming together in absence of government initiative. That is how every institutions have been established, first in the form of venture, then afterwards grant in aid, then afterwards deficit, then afterwards provincialization. That is how it has evolved over the years. Now, if we club other private institutions where we have individual your academicians who are coming together and establishing private schools. You have number of private schools coming up in different areas, whether it is in Tura, Williamnagar, even in the rural areas. Now, we have to segregate this part from the institutions which were established collectively by the community prior to government's initiative. Now, as they have evolved over the years, now how do we take cognizance of this contribution and somehow ensure that what is now in deficit pattern is ultimately converted into a government, so that at least teachers end up getting the same benefit which is provided to the teachers who retire from government schools. Now, primary schools, there are a number of schools which are in deficit. Now, these teachers retire and they don't get the retirement benefit. So, these are areas of concern. Now, this grant in aid, salary, if we say salary, then that means we are assuming that we are the employer. That's why we have made it a point earlier also that when we extend this support to the management committee, managing committee, which is drawn from the communities, then we only put a rider that as we provide this grant in aid or assistance, minimum salary should be ensured this much. Over and above that, how much they top up is up to them. So this is how we have managed. And if we deviate from this, we're going to have serious problem in future, because then you are owning all the teachers of even those which are yet to be provincialized. So I think I would request the Honorable Chief Minister to have certain discussion on this issue together.
No, what is the question, please?
I'm submitting this suggestion. I would ask the government to have a considered discussion on this issue, maybe in his chamber or wherever. We will be there, because this is going haywire.
Sir, the concerns of the LO, since he is not aware of the entire package. So number one, it's not salary. That's why if you notice, sir, I hesitated when I was speaking, when I talked about the pay structure. So we were very, very clear that the words we will use is pay framework, a structured pay framework. So the word salary does not come into the language, number one. Number two, sir, we are not here talking about all schools that are private or community run. The schools that are receiving ad hoc grant as of now, who are receiving ad hoc grant, some are community, some are individual, private based. For whatever reason, in the past 40 years, different governments have started giving grants, grant in aid to different ones, which came to be known as ad hoc grant, at least one of the grants. And here we are trying to resolve the ad hoc group. So this ad hoc, there are some schools which are community run, I mentioned that, some are private run, some are mission run. What we are doing, sir, is that since they have formed an umbrella organization, they are part of one category of ad hoc grant teachers, or ad hoc teachers they call themselves. Of course, they have got 4 or 5 mini committees also and groups under them. But I think it's a FASCOM, I think, is the umbrella organization. And they are the organizations with whom we've been talking. So they are, yes, correctly mentioned. Some are owned privately, some are owned by community and the thing. But what we are doing, sir, we are bringing a structured pay for these teachers as per their demand. So this is something they have demanded. Now, when we move forward with this, sir, we are not here to take over the schools. We are not here. And we have very clearly discussed with the teachers that this is the structure we're going to give you. If you're going to expect that it's going to be government scale, it's not going to happen. But we are going to give you increments at this level. The Commissioner Secretary and Education Minister must have sat maybe more than 7-8 times with them. We had engagement with them at multiple levels. Negotiation took place, came back to us. We went back to the negotiation table with them. So this was a long drawn exercise with the stakeholders themselves, which is the ad hoc school teachers. So we are here to resolve this ad hoc school teachers issue, which is about 7,000 numbers, sir, plus minus, and the rest are the SSS school teachers. So this is what we are trying to resolve here, sir. Deficit, of course, is the next step. We are working and seeing if there's a possibility. It's not easy, sir. Education system is super complicated. We are examining, sir. We would like to help everyone. But it's not an easy decision because every decision has got financial and legal implications for us. So therefore, we were very clear and we said we are going to resolve right now this ad hoc and the issues that are there with SSA. So we are very, very confined to these two categories, and this is what we're going to work on. And as I said, the aspect of salary will not be there, so we will share with the Honorable LO as desired by him. I think it's a positive step that the government shares this information and discusses and informs them in detail what government is planning to do. And they can be obviously privy to that because the teachers already know about it. I don't see any reason why we cannot share. So we will share that information, sir, and I'm sure that they'll be quite satisfied and happy because the teachers, small issues here and there were there, but we have ironed them out. But the teachers themselves had, as I said, have accepted this. And as I said, it's resolving most of the issues that the ad hoc teachers and the SSAs have had, sir. So it's been a long drawn exercise, not something we decided in 1 week. For the last 1 year, this exercise has been going on, sir.
Mr. Edward, no, please.
Sir, since this is a concern, matter of concern of the whole state, as this matter deal with the teachers, let's not forget the fact that it is teachers who bring us to this position where we are today. So may I know, because every time and again we have experienced that teachers they have to come out to the street to agitate, to demand their right. Why this is happening again and again? So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, we'd like to know the specific reason, whether the government has identified the specific reason for the recurring delay in teachers' salary payment. May I get a clarity from you, Honorable Ministers?
Sir, I have already replied that we have identified, that's why we have come up with a new system. But through this portal where the submission of the salary bills and all will be processed, and we will know that where through this system everybody can check that where it is lie. So for the immediate payment of the pay structure or salary or whatever may grant in aid as it is on time, sir.
So, may I know, I would like to put a more supplement to you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to Honorable Minister. What about the teachers' deficit? Whether the government of the day has any intention to revise the salary?
So the deficit teachers, they got the salary as per scale of the same as the government teachers.
One more supplementary, sir. What about government teachers drawing UGC scales have been denied allowances since 1996, whereas those drawing state scale are getting the benefit. Have you aware about this? If you are aware, what action need to be taken by the government?
So the government is not deny the right of any people or any category of the teachers. Whatever we do is as per rule in place, sir.
Barini, please.
Will this payment structure contradict with the MEG proposal of the government?
There is no contradiction, sir, because the MEG, it is that the government is soliciting the view of different schools, different community which runs the school. So that is the discussion paper. So anything we do, it is in line with what we are doing, sir.
So we come to next question. Question raised by Sri Adan Miller Basomet, Minister in charge, to reply, please.
Oh, for once I'm ready before her. Chale! Gorgeous. Let's go!
Coming. How much you honk, yeah?
Come on, we should leave.
Chill. It's just family.
Exactly. और घर वाले ही late.
By the way, how am I looking?
Very late.
Streamers, caps, candles, a cake, definitely balloons. सब आ गया. Wait a minute. Where is everyone? Show off.
Hey bro, how's it going?
एक बात बता, सबसे फास्ट होकर भी हमेशा लेट कैसे?
Style bro, style.
Hello guys, where's the birthday boy?
यहीं कहीं होगा, अपने फीचर्स को रील्स पे शो ऑफ करता हुआ.
इतना बिगाड़ा जो है. Automatic gearbox, ventilated seats, sunroof.
क्यों ना हो? फैमिली का सबसे यंगेस्ट भी तो है. Let's go guys, party time.
Skoda.